Hey, what's up guys, my name is Charlie. Today we're going to be reacting to some more Monster Madness, and it's going to be The Evil Dead from 1981, History of Horror. Oh yes, this is going to be totally awesome. This is perhaps one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It is a classic, it is incredible. I remember watching this as a kid when I was like 6 years old. I would bring the Evil Dead VHS tape with me everywhere I went. I would go to my friend's house and, play the Evil Dead movie over and over again, maybe 4 times in a day. There was just something about this movie that I really loved as a kid and still do enjoy today. I don't know why, I can't explain why I love this movie so much, but I was really strongly attached to this movie as a kid, as my parents would know because I would watch it like 4 or 5 times every single day for a year. It was insane, honestly. I mean, even my parents and my nan still ask me, "You still watching The Evil Dead?" Yeah. I can't explain the phenomenon why I'm so attached to this movie. It's just something I really do love and enjoy. And what the fuck? Why did my parents allow me to watch this when I was 6 years old? I should be watching fucking Barney or something, or the Teletubbies, not the fucking Evil Dead. Oh, there's some questioning parent skills right there. But yeah, let's check out the video, shall we? Let's go.
It's Cinemassacre's Monster Madness. In our history of horror films, we've made our way to the 80s, touched upon the slasher genre, zombie genre, and introduced some of the most
Oh,
famous
damn.
horror icons ever. But one of the most outrageous of all the horror franchises is the Evil Dead trilogy. To
Yep.
this day, there are few that are able to balance humor, horror, atmosphere, and creative camera work. The plot of the Evil Dead movies is not about zombies or a killer, but a book. The
The
Book of
Book
the
of
Dead, centuries
Necronomicon.
old, inked in blood, bound in human flesh, and with the power to summon all kinds of crazy monsters.
Swallow that smoke.
There are no
God.
rules to these movies. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I felt like
The
I was in
first Evil
Madness
Dead
that
was
scene.
made independently, low budget, filmed in an abandoned
It wasn't a
cabin.
comedy.
It relied on atmosphere and chills, suspense, and shocking scenes of grotesque
Yeah,
dismemberment, creature effects, and bloodshed.
I just
The
loved
stop
it.
motion sequence at the end is definitely a highlight.
Ooh.
And how many movies have you seen where somebody gets raped by a tree?
Yeah, that was
But
a
Evil Dead
crazy
2,
scene.
this is where things really start to pick up.
That's when it
Director
turned into a
Sam Raimi
comedy.
comes up with a lot of really interesting camera moves, a trademark of his which he'd employ on his Spider-Man movies. There's one great scene where it breaks the window of a car and it comes through the front. There's also times when it goes through the entire cabin from the front door to the back.
Pretty
We
cool.
assume it's a point of view shot, but we never find out what the hell it is that's chasing them.
A cameraman.
Bruce Campbell returns in his role as Ash, taking more than double the abuse and bringing more personality to the role. His character alternates between good and evil, and in a schizophrenic frenzy, he just puts up one hell of a battle. Don't you just hate it when your hand starts acting up?
Yeah,
What do? You gotta show it who's boss. Cut that bastard off. Damn. Of course, the rest of the movie, he's got a chainsaw attached to his arm. You don't fuck with somebody with a gun and a chainsaw.
Hail to the
That's
king, baby.
badass. Evil Dead 2 is a fine mix of action, horror, and comedy. The ending leaves Ash in a time warp to the 13th century. Evil Dead 3, or The Medieval Dead, would end up being called Army of Darkness because the
Evil
producers
Dead
wanted
3.
it to appeal to a wider audience. Unfortunately, most people didn't appreciate its slapstick humor,
Yeah, I
but
loved
fans
it.
like me consider it to be one of the funniest movies ever made.
Yeah.
By now, there's not a whole lot of horror, it's more like an action comedy, but it's great. There's too many memorable lines to
Good,
count.
bad. I'm
Give
the
me
guy
some
with a
sugar,
gun.
baby.
And give me
I got
some
news
sugar,
for
baby.
you, pal. You ain't leading but two things right now.
Jack and shit.
Jack and shit.
There we go.
And Jack left town.
The character of Ash is now
It's a
fully developed.
boomstick
He's one of
scene.
the few heroes to balance the line of being badass and being an asshole at the same time. All he wants to do is get back to his own time period,
Just send me back to my own time pronto today.
but he's stuck having to save the kingdom from the Deadites. The wise man tells Ash that he has to retrieve the book from the sacred place, but he has to say the correct magic words.
Klaatu,
Klaatu,
Barata, Nectar.
Barata, Nectar.
Again! I got it! I know your damn words, all right?
The words were actually taken from the 1951 classic, The Day the Earth
Ah,
Stood Still.
I knew it.
You
I
say
said
these
that
words.
in another
Klaatu,
Monster Madness
Barada,
video.
Nikto.
So
That's
Ash
where
has
it
to
came
say
from.
these
I thought
words,
so,
or
that
else
bit of
all
trivia.
hell is going to break loose. But when he gets there, he forgets.
Klaatu, Barada.
The whole joke is that we're stuck with this incompetent hero.
Look, maybe I didn't say every single little tiny syllable, no, but basically I said them, yeah.
The last scene involves a huge epic battle with the dead, and since the days of Ray Harryhausen, stop-motion skeletons are always awesome. The Evil Dead trilogy is a huge fan favorite of the whole genre, and fans have been eagerly awaiting an Evil Dead 4. There's been video games, a
Oh, yeah, the
musical,
video
and
games.
countless merchandise proving that the fan base is there and ready. But unfortunately, a remake is planned, and not yet another installment in the series. Describing the appeal of these movies can't be done unless you see them, but there's one word that can sum it up.
Groovy.
That's right, groovy.
Yeah, it's truly really sad because I know all the quotes and lines in all the Evil Dead movies and Evil Dead 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, it really is sad because I've watched them all. And, you know, the Army of Darkness was absolutely amazing. It was hilarious. I loved the sort of slapstick comedy on that one, and it gave us the most best lines like, "This is my boomstick." I mean, come on. Listen up, you primitive screwheads. Oh boy, yeah. The movie was great, all of them. In fact, the remake I watched as well, and to be honest with you, a lot of people might not like the remake, but I enjoyed it. I think it was pretty good, very enjoyable. But also, what I really do love is that, you know, the first one was a horror, you know, it focused on horror atmosphere and everything, but the second one started to turn into a bit of a comedy, and that's where I think they did right, because I think if they made a second and third one, and they did the sort of same thing with, you know, the Evil Dead 1, they did try the same thing with Evil Dead 2 and 3, I don't think it would have worked as much. I think somewhere on the line it would be watered down, it wouldn't be the same sort of style, it would be a bit stale. So I loved it how they mixed it up and turned it into a comedy. I think they did the right decision with that in Evil Dead, the Evil Dead 2 and 3. I think they did make the right decision and turn it into a sort of comedy, that sort of direction, because you know, I don't imagine it lasting and it being rememberable if it would have been a horror movie, as same as, you know, The Evil Dead. You know, so just think of it like that. If it was like The Evil Dead, and they turned that the same sort of style, original to 2 and 3, it wouldn't be the same. We wouldn't remember it. We'd go, oh yeah, the Evil Dead 3, yeah, I can't really remember that. So it's a good thing that they changed it up into a comedy, because I think it's more memorable. I think they really did a good job in knowing when to change things up a little bit. And plus, it gave us Ash vs. Evil Dead, the TV series. I mean, those are absolutely fucking amazing. Those are hilarious and great episodes to watch. So if you want to watch Ash vs. Evil Dead, definitely go for it, because it continues the comedy saga. But yeah, it's a great comedy. Absolutely hilarious. And yeah, Evil Dead 1, 2, and 3 and Ash vs. Evil Dead, all perfect, absolutely great, because I am an Evil Dead fan. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure to give a like, comment down below, and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.